On this episode of WGTV, schools are looking to combat teacher burnout, JFK's passing is memorialized, and athletes' mental health is being prioritized by one club. These stories and more on this episode of WGTV. Good afternoon, Wildcats, and thank you for tuning in to this episode of WGTV. Live from the Grove, I'm Jackson Kingerski.
And I'm Olivia Cook.
We have many exciting stories coming up, but first, Olivia's going to catch you up on what's been happening at the Grove. Olivia?
Thank you, Jackson. Next Friday on December 13th, all of Walnut Grove's fine arts programs will be putting on a winter extravaganza. Tickets will be free and sent out on Monday. However, there are only 100 tickets available. The extravaganza will be held in the auditorium and will happen during Grove time. Speaking of fine arts, the Walnut Grove Choir Department will be delivering singing Christmas cards next week. These deliveries will be made the 6th, 7th, 12th, and the 13th between 6 to 8:30 p.m. They will cost $45 and can reach any residential address in Prosper ISD. To order, scan the QR code in the weekly email. For more information, email wgchoir@gmail.com. Again, that is wgchoir@gmail.com. In Dallas news, this Tuesday, a Dallas ISD school bus was hit by another vehicle in Grapevine. There were only 2 students in the bus, and according to Fox 4, no injuries were reported as a result of the crash. In the city of McKinney, they have taken a huge step towards expanding their national airport to a commercial hub. This Tuesday, the City Council approved the rezoning of 300 acres of land to the airport's east side. According to WFAA, the mayor of McKinney, George Fuller, stated that we will be seeing commercial flights in 2026 flying out of TKI, which is code for McKinney National.
Teacher retention rates are steadily declining, with a large percentage of educators planning to leave the profession in the coming years. Hudson Acosta looks into what causes teacher burnout and how schools are planning to solve it.
What are you doing?
Many teachers are reaching their breaking point. Within the next 4 years, a reported 37% of teachers plan on leaving their schools or professions altogether. In Prosper ISD, teachers have built strong relationships with surrounding students and educators, ultimately helping retain teachers and reduce their burnout.
To solve teacher burnout, as individual students, I think it's important to make sure your teachers know that you care about them and make sure that they know that you appreciate what they do. And it's always just little things. The wall that I have next to my desk is filled with different notes that students have given me, just about different things, just thank you notes or whatever it might be. And if I'm having a particularly bad day or I'm getting frustrated, because certain days stuff happens and it is difficult, try to remind myself that even though every individual child's not going to say it every single day, I am making more of an impact than it feels like sometimes.
Strong connections between teachers and students have fostered for a supportive learning environment. Small gestures like notes and drawings have served as a way of motivation for many teachers.
Part of me really does miss teaching. I really do miss the connection I had with my students. I really do miss the environment that I was able to provide and foster growth and curiosity for students and showing them. And oftentimes, when we think about teaching, it's a profession where you're expected to give so much of yourself. Teachers are still people too. Teachers still have bills to pay, teachers still have families to take care of, teachers still have so many other struggles and things that we encounter too.
We're talking partially about...
Schools have been able to build a welcoming teacher community and reduce teachers' unnecessary workloads. By providing the support, school districts like Prosper ISD have helped teachers stay focused on educating their students.
I think in Prosper ISD, we try to, any of those work that we can take off of the staff, we try to do that. So we have a lot of instructional support that can assist teachers and a lot of operational things that try to take the load off. Teachers here usually have a planning period and then also a time to prep with their peers, which is called a PLC, and there are many districts that don't have that additional time. So I think really the main thing we can do is try to provide time and take care of some of those things when we have the ability to.
Schools have been able to address teacher burnout by providing a supportive community for teachers and their students. creating an environment where everyone feels valued and connected. Reporting for WGTV, I'm Hudson Acosta.
It's important to show appreciation for your teachers and support them in the ways that you can. A simple thank you or a kind note can go a long way.
Texas power grid operator ERCOT displays concerns for extreme winter weather, similar to the 2021 winter power outage. The chief meteorologist at ERCOT does not claim absolute certainty of this event and instead is comparing it to tornado watch, where signs of an extreme storm is possible but not guaranteed. The CEO of ERCOT also stressed that they have overhauled the power grid in order to provide more stability across the state. On November 29th in Hays County near Austin, a man was struck and killed following a road rage incident. John Paul Ramirez and Charles Allen Rice exited their vehicles on Highway 290 and fought, leading to Ramirez being knocked unconscious and falling into traffic. Rice was charged with manslaughter and was released on a $25,000 bail.
JFK was assassinated November 22nd, 1963. Even with his passing being 61 years ago, questions about the president's death are still not at rest. Emma McQuitty dives into the conspiracies surrounding the Kennedys.
It appears as though something has happened in the motorcade route. Something, I repeat, has happened in the motorcade route.
Dallas, Texas, synonymous with the assassination of the 35th President of the United States. With Kennedy's death rolling upon its 61st anniversary, people come to Dallas to commemorate the former president. However, speculation on why or if Lee Harvey Oswald killed JFK still remains a mystery. Sam Pate, a rookie radio man for KBOX, announced the assassination of the president. However, the morning after, when he came into the studio, expecting to be congratulated on his work, he was severely disappointed.
The night before, they were just praising them for the coverage. So the news director, I think it was Bill Hampton, I think he's the one who fired him. And one thing my dad always said was, if you heard the truth, would you believe it?
This building, formerly known as the Dallas Police Headquarters, was where assassination suspect Lee Harvey Oswald was detained after the shooting of John F. Kennedy. 2 days later, the suspect was being transported to the Dallas County Jail and shot by Jack Ruby.
Well, Ruby was an interesting fellow. About 2 weeks before he supposedly died of cancer, he was diagnosed with this fast-growing cancer. Before that, he had written his sister a lot of letters, and in there a few times he said, they're giving me injections every day. They say they're vitamins, but I think they're killing me.
Even if Ruby had died of cancer or had been killed, it still does not answer the question on why he had killed Oswald. What remains more uncertain is the motive of why Oswald had shot JFK in the first place. One Dealey Plaza visitor, David Herzog, believes that he was assassinated due to the Bay of Pigs invasion. He also thinks that this dislike may have been the cause for Robert Kennedy's death.
RFK and JFK were in the same timeline, and I think they had the same enemies. And I think that RFK was almost a co-president when John was president. And so I think that the same powers that did not want that presence in office likened Robert to Jack and wanted to head it off the pass.
The Kennedys have a long history of misfortune, with there being numerous incidents in the family such as plane crashes, car accidents, and murders, which is now coined as the Kennedy curse. Some theorists believe that this so-called curse traces all the way back to Joe Kennedy Sr. and the karma he had brought to the family after bootlegging crimes. Whether the Kennedy curse is to blame for JFK's death, or it's just a coincidence, the true story is buried with him. For WGTV, I'm Emma McQuitty.
It is no question that the Kennedy family has had their share of losses, however, many of which are still in the public eye, involved in politics and national affairs. From Dallas to Prosper, Ethan McDaniel's in studio to give you your sports recap. Ethan?
Thank you, Jackson. Boys wrestling took the mat November 16th at Marcus High School. The Wildcats dominated, placing first as a team and went undefeated 5-0. Standout wrestlers Takunda Majoma, Ian McCarley, Emmanuel Gibbs, and Joe Barabbas were victorious in all their matches. Women's wrestling took fourth place at the Marcus Duels. And the following weekend, the Wildcats traveled to the 15th annual Heath Invitational. The men took a team fourth place finish out of 25. Emmanuel Gibbs won his final match to earn a second place finish in the 132 weight bracket. Takunda Majoma took third place in the 157 weight bracket. 3 women's wrestlers made the medal stand. Bella Castillo and Tatum Louie each took second place, and Bayla Wisely finished fourth. Wrestling will battle again at Frisco Memorial High School today and Saturday in the Warrior Duels and War Games. This was a November to remember for Wildcat basketball. While most were enjoying their turkey, both boys and girls teams were hard at work, competing in various tournaments over the DFW Metroplex, currently earning the girls an 8-4 record and the boys an 11-6 record. BJ Scott has been having a standout season so far, leading the Wildcats with 52 assists, 13.4 points per game, and a 56% shooting percentage. Basketball is in high hopes for their games later today at 1 p.m. against Reedy and at 5:15 p.m. versus Tyler Legacy. Mentality plays a huge role in the success of student athletes. Christopher Munchmeyer explores how it is important to their performance.
A strong achievement starts with a strong mindset. The Hidden Opponent is a club here at Walnut Grove that gives students the opportunity to help keep their head in the game, focusing on their physical selves while strengthening their mental health.
I approach my training to like a willingness to make mistakes, because I know in training you're trying to give 100%, and going 100% you're not always going to be perfect. So I'm open to the fact that I'm going to make mistakes, but I'm not going to go make mistakes going 50%, not even 99%. I have to do it going 100%, and doing that, it benefits me in the game because I'm always going 100%.
BJ's mentality highlights the importance of balance on and off the court. The Hidden Opponent provides that community that student athletes need to find that balance.
The Hidden Opponent's it will help our student athletes overcome struggles that they're facing just by giving them a space and an environment to openly discuss with their peers. Sometimes it can be hard to discuss that with an adult, so through the Hidden Opponent, all student athletes at Walnut Grove will be able to have the opportunity to explain their experiences or reach out for resources with their peers if they don't feel comfortable with an adult.
Having peers who understand each other's experiences make it easier to break the silence around their mental health. Isabella Uber is the club president, running and organizing these meetings.
It's very important for athletes to maintain a good mental health, because a lot of times people see athletes as this athletic person and they forget that they're also people. And mental health is one of the most important things when you're performing your sport. With a bad mental health, you're prone to do bad in your sport.
The program was founded in 2017 as a nonprofit advocacy group that raised awareness for student-athlete mental health. This trend has continued today thanks to Isabella Uver. For WGTV, I'm Christopher Munchmeyer.
If you or someone you know is struggling with stress or anxiety, don't wait. Reach out to a coach, talk to a friend, or check out the Hidden Opponent's resources. That's all for your sports recap. For WGTV, I'm Ethan McDaniel. Back to you, Olivia and Jackson.
Thank you, Ethan. That's all we have for today's episode. For WGTV, I'm Olivia Cook.
And I'm Jackson Kingerski. Thanks for watching, and remember, Wildcats, set the standard.